And we are live. It's been already 6 minutes, so I suppose we can just start. Um, as usual, we're gonna go through our team one by one and share some progress, and there we'll do open mic. Um, I can start because I only have a few words to say. Oops, there goes the sip room. So in the last couple of weeks, I've been working on some changes to ICE, which are supposed to make it possible to switch between different interfaces um, without any signaling, just on the ICE level. So this is mostly useful for mobile, where if you are on a Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi goes down, you want to seamlessly fall back to your 3G interface. So this part of the work is now complete. The only thing that was required was some minor changes in ICE4J on the server side. So I think I need to update the POM file and the bridge actually, but the next release should contain this. And then for Jitsi on iOS, it just works out of the box, and I don't think we've tested Android specifically, but I have no reason to think that it wouldn't work there. And now that I'm saying that, I'll make a note to test it on Android. So that's from me. Brian, do you want to go next?
Sure. So we were in the kind of performance investigation space. We had started with this idea of this optimized Chrome that could use a pre-encoded file, so that way we could get more Chrome instances easily running on a server, so we could do some load tests. But Aaron and George had found that they were bumping into performance issues even at some smaller conference sizes or smaller bridge load sizes. So for the purposes of that, we're kind of pivoted a little bit, and now we can repro some issues with the hammer. So we're going to start trying to analyze the issues that we're running into there with your kit and stuff, and just see if we can get those addressed and see if we can find anything there first. And we'll keep going with hammer until we can no longer basically find issues with hammer. And once we get to that point, we'll reevaluate whether or not we want to go back to the Chrome thing so we can get bigger load sizes so we can further optimize things. So today's going to be more poking around at breaking the bridge with hammer and then doing some analysis of the bridge.
Cool. I'm happy to go next. I've been working mostly on Jitsi stabilization tasks to make the recorder work slightly better and scale up and down a little bit better. That's made good progress. I've also done some work on this gateway that I talked about, which allows us to connect in a life-size type hardware room. I tried to join today, but of course we ran into some technical difficulties. So I'll probably continue on that, and that's probably the biggest progress I'm going to make that's really relevant to this call. Otherwise, I'll be helping with some of the work Brian was talking about in terms of automating some of our load testing type infrastructure. But I'll pass it on to George next.
Yeah. So the past couple of weeks, I've been working on improving the probing mechanism that we have. So that's now committed and activated on beta. The way it works is we duplicate or even triplicate the streams, the media streams over the RTX stream, so that consumes more bandwidth. So the receiver is able to ramp up its RMBs, and so we can scale up what the bridge is sending to a specific receiver after congestion has occurred and the bridge has scaled down. So this work is now done. along with the bitrate allocation algorithm that we have, and along with the GCC implementation that we have in the bridge, this should give us first version of adaptivity. And next thing would be to improve or evaluate or well, mostly improve our GCC algorithm and make sure that it's working reliably in different scenarios with different channel characteristics like loss, delay, and things like that, because we haven't done any extensive testing on that. Um, and another task that's going to happen is adding temporal scalability to VP8 in the short future, hopefully. So yeah, that's all from me.
Yubo, do you want to talk next?
So on the mobile front, the efforts in the last 2 weeks and probably before that were fixing bugs, crashes, so that we can get into a state of the mobile app in which we feel comfortable announcing on the mailing lists and Twitter, Facebook, whatever channels Emil has. So we've been mostly working on like reducing the CPU load for the app. For an example, when it goes to the background because like the user locked the screen or the hit the home button, so that we can mute the local participant and drain less battery. We're also fixing a lot of bugs around it. Like there was a problem that the app couldn't stay in the background live and React Native would not allow the app to use HTTP requests. So we had to work around this. We currently have one problem which supposedly stops us from announcing, and we need to investigate, is that with the latest tab, which is running the latest libjitsi meet and the latest video bridge, we see far too many black videos, even though web participants see these participants, like the mobile just displays them as black videos. So we need to look into it before we announce. And that's pretty much the work. It's been just small fixes here and there to bugs and crashes. We've got a lot planned for the next 2 weeks, though, so we can get up to speed with WebRTC and React Native, the latest releases, because WebRTC we're running with 54, I think, but Chrome and WebRTC respectively is at 56 at the moment as a stable. We need to go and finish this work that we've been doing for the past 2 weeks to mute the remote participants as well, not only the local participant when the app goes into the background. This is something that Zoe has been taking care of, and he's got a PRs. Just need to merge this thing and test it, make sure that it works. Otherwise, at least the next week we'll be continuing to fix bugs and crashes that we've deemed to be less important, not important enough to block an announcement, but still some things that we need to address, like crashes without resolutions, or just some errors that are happening. The user doesn't really see them, but they're still happening, so we need to take care of those underneath. That's pretty much our thing. I'm also working on PRs. I've got a PR from about unsupported browsers. So the current stable version of Meet has some problems with unsupported browsers, and we've got new designs for those pages that we've implemented, and I just need to merge the PR. A lot of changes there. And we're taking into account the new designs, the mobile app, fixes on Internet Explorer, on Safari, whatever. And the other thing that I've got from Damian is work on internationalization in the React app and respectively the React Native app, the mobile app, because currently we're missing internationalization, or at least translations. And Damian has a PR that I'm reviewing, so it's definitely going to be merged this week to take care of that on mobile and React. That's from me, Bobby.
Okay, who do we have left? Pavel?
So I was working mostly on fixing remaining issues with the peer-to-peer stuff, and then I created PR, and it goes through some initial review, and then we decided to split it into a few smaller ones. So I'm going to work on it this week, and hopefully before the next call it should be merged. So yeah, that's it from me.
Awesome. And Christo.
So I was working on the iframe API. So unfinished task is by default the background for the film strip only mode should be transparent right now. And also I'm still working on the overlays for the film strip only mode. Yeah, I hope until the next call is gonna be committed. And that's all.
Okay, I just have one more thing to add because I forget about it. We're starting to implement the sender side bandwidth estimation. And the first step for that will be adding the transport CC RTP header extension and the RTCP packet for acknowledging. And then sometime in the future, we'll be doing the whole sender estimation. So I think that's all from our team, and we can move on to the open mic. Do you think we only have Karthik and a fellow Jitster this time? Do you guys have any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
I have questions to Karthik though. So, hey Karthik. So we've got this thing from you that we're waiting on, and it's the co-stats that you're running on React Native. Do you have an update for that?
I started working on the Jitsi React thing from Friday, and I have some issues in the compilation. Like on my Android, I'm getting some errors, and I'm mailing Saul. He's trying to help me, but today I decided like I don't need Jitsi app for now. Just to make a call stats initially compatible to React Native, and once we solved all the issues with window and web crypto and everything, I can then port it to Jitsi Native.
Yes, so that was my concern as well, because our Jitsi Meet mobile app does a lot of polyfills that we need for libjitsi Meet, and some of those polyfills happen to like help CoStats, the CoStats library as well. But if you want to do a React Native port on your side, probably it makes sense to just make sure that the app runs in React Native in general, not specifically in our app, where we do have a lot of polyfills, and you're probably not going to find them in other React Native apps.
I saw actually the polyfill functions in the, I think it's in features folder or something. So most probably I'll be doing the same thing, and I'll make sure all the non-WebRTC things works fine with the call stars, and then I will try to integrate with the React, Jitsi React.
Okay, so do you have a rough time at which you suppose you should be able to ship this? I know it's too early for that, but just a good feeling.
I think I'm targeting for next 2 to 3 weeks to finish it. Hopefully,
Okay.
I will be able to finish it. Yeah, in case I have any questions, I'll mail you or Saul.
Yeah. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
Anything else that anyone wants to discuss? Okay, looks like we can finish with this call then. So thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you next time in 2 weeks.
Bye.